Yesterday, I met with a friend who's 50. He's a lawyer. He said he spends much of his time looking after his mom, who's frail and wasting away. It could take years for her to die. Meanwhile, he takes her to doctor's offices and clinics and tries to keep her out of pain at home. I asked him if he plans to be like that when he's 80. He said of course not. He plays golf on weekends, he rides his bike, he's very active. I asked if he thinks he needs to lose any weight. He said, well, sure. He's got about 25, 30 pounds to lose, but he's planning to start intermittent fasting soon. So I said, how long have you been overweight? How does what you're doing protect you from the effects of aging? He said, okay, well then what am I supposed to do? That's the question I want to answer in this video, because you have a choice. You can keep going with your existing plan, which mostly relies on luck and doctors, or you can actively extend your health span for the next 40 years. You can be stronger, more vibrant, and more protected against chronic disease. But if you want that, if you want to be healthy and fit into your 80s and 90s, you have to start now. There's no magic pill. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you don't have another day to lose. Now, there are 3 ways to do this. You can use the Keith Richards approach, or the Mick Jagger approach, or you can go somewhere in the middle. Keith does it with genetics, purpose, alcohol, heroin, and cigarettes. He seems to have found the magic combination that'll keep him alive forever. Mick, on the other hand, is the son of a gym teacher. He's spent his life running, cycling, kickboxing, doing Pilates, stretching, dancing, and even doing ballet. He's hard at it every day, and it shows on stage when he performs. Splitting the difference between these two isn't going to work. You have to fight aging. You can do it with the best research and a custom-made program just for you, or you can just wing it and see how it goes. But you only get to try once. My name's David Siegel. I've had 1 spinal fusion, 4 heart procedures, and a full stroke. I've broken both hips. This little piece of titanium was in my right hip for 5 years. The other one is still in. I have an irregular heartbeat from all the years I spent doing competitive endurance sports like running, cycling, and inline skating. I've had 2 knee operations, one from a rock climbing fall, ankle reconstruction from a skydiving accident, and shoulder surgery from tennis overuse. Today at 64, I run, hike, teach tennis, and walk extensively. But I wasn't doing enough. I'm starting this company after reading Peter Attia's book, Outlive. This book was a wake-up call for me. I thought I was in pretty good shape. I was wrong. I'm now in the gym 5 days a week. I'm working harder than I have in 20 years to build muscle and bone, eat to support my goals, take a few important supplements, and I'm pushing harder on the track to develop my endurance and peak performance. There are no shortcuts to aging well. The work you need to do for longevity is very different from what a gym trainer or a golf coach would have you do. A friend of mine is 55. He's an ultra marathoner. He runs 100 miles in 24 hours. He's fit, but he's at the risk of several things that can take him down later in his 70s and 80s. As Peter Attia explains, you want to be strong and resilient in about 20 different categories, so you're protected against all the things that can start a cascade later. Here's a good example. My uncle Herschel is 92. He lives in Aspen, Colorado. Last summer, we went out to dinner in town. Walking home, he tripped on a curb and just jogged out of it to safety. Most 90-year-olds would have hit the pavement, broken a bone, and that would have been the end of their quality of life. But Herschel had balance built in from decades of hiking trails. His body was prepared, which is why at 92, we were still walking around Aspen after dinner in the first place. They say it's better to be the oldest person in the gym than the youngest person at the nursing home. Do you know the worst thing about retirement? Cruises. Cruise ships are where everyone goes to do nothing but eat and sit. Think about your last vacation. Look at the people on cruise ships. Is that who you want to be? Cruises and resort living are the epitome of the comfort crisis, and it's killing us. If you could be strong enough to climb mountains with your grandchildren, do pull-ups, run upstairs, go backpacking, and pursue your passions with vigor well into your 80s, what would that be worth to you? There are plenty of experts who claim their special blend of drugs, supplements, and shakes will keep you young forever. But it's not about olive oil and chocolate, and it's not about popping 100 pills a day. Peter Attia has the right approach. Now, I'm not associated with Peter Attia, but his book changed my life, and I want to change yours by applying his principles. I've also identified other doctors and researchers I think are part of a healthy solution, and no, they don't include Andrew Huberman or David Sinclair. I use a 4-step approach. In our initial consultation, I'll go through a checklist of your conditions, doctors, test results, and medications. We'll see where you are with fat and muscle. Then we'll make a list of tests you should get and plan the next 8 weeks together. During those 8 weeks, you'll get started building your new routines, and we'll check in for half an hour each week. If you need to lose weight, we'll start there while we build good habits for the future. From there, we design a program that works for you within your needs and your budget. I want to support you in creating a good plan, achieving your weight and strength goals, staying uninjured, and managing setbacks. I'll be reporting on new research and options so we can continue to adjust and optimize your program to give you the maximum benefit for the least amount of time. You're going to be exercising every day for the rest of your life, the way Mick Jagger does and the way I do now. Your friends and family are going to notice the difference. You won't be as tired as you were before. You won't see doctors as much. You won't be as tired as you were before. You won't see doctors as often. And you'll be challenging yourself to become stronger and more vibrant each year than you were the year before. You'll be winding up rather than winding down. This is a 3-year project and beyond. It's only after you have a strong foundation that you'll see results start to add up. If you've had excess weight for decades, don't expect it to magically come off in 6 months and then stay off. We're going to go from where you are today and keep hitting new plateaus without falling back. A smart, slow, steady approach will help you maximize your healthy years. In June 2025, I'm taking a group of clients and their grandchildren to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Kenya and Tanzania and go on safari for 10 days. This is the highest point in Africa. It's the opposite of a pleasure cruise. What if your grandchildren looked at you and said, "Grandma and Grandpa, are you available this weekend to go on a training hike? We got to get ready for Africa." What's that worth? You'll spend much of the next year getting the right gear, walking, hiking, carrying weight, and learning about the trip. We'll have Zoom calls with people who've done it already. The oldest person to summit Kilimanjaro did it at age 89. Don't tell me you have pre-existing conditions. We all have pre-existing conditions. We're planning more hard trips for our clients, the opposite of cruises, where we'll have adventures and accomplish difficult, meaningful tasks together. A few people will want to make this commitment. If you've been passing up healthy opportunities all your life, you're watching the wrong video. But if you truly want the prize of health and strength, I want to work with you. If you're a self-starter, you can get going immediately. But you're not an expert, and it's smart to find the right kind of help. I'm not a doctor. I'm a longevity coach with a strong interest in helping you achieve your goals. I'm here to make sure you use your time well and build a solid foundation for the future. So which will it be, Keith or Mick? If you choose to go the Mick Jagger route, if you understand that you don't have any time to waste, book your onboarding call now and let's get started.